We're now entering week 4 of Operation Epic Fury. The world has seen that America has the deadliest, most proficient, most insistent and powerful military in the history of the world. And the regime's capabilities have to have been severely affected. We've seen the Capitol on fire. Khamenei is dead, as are many others. And yet, it's been almost 2 weeks since the president declared victory, and still the regime is intact and killing Iranians with impunity and holding world trade hostage. Look, it's not un-American or pro-regime to say this situation just doesn't seem to add up. We're told the threat by the regime was imminent. That's what the president says. But his director of national intelligence under oath won't say that. And while we see the results of our efforts, we don't see how many innocents have been hit. What has been destroyed that was not supposed to be? This is a fair question to ask after how that bombing of the school was mishandled by the administration. And now there's a second front in the war in Lebanon, and that is escalating in rapid and bloody fashion. It's just odd that the president is saying we won over a week ago, but he's also saying that he needs thousands of additional troops to be sent into the region and an extra $200 billion. And he also now says he needs allies. Originally, our president mocked our allies and said they were untrustworthy. Now he says he needs their help to do what he already declared victory for doing. It just doesn't make sense. And another thing I don't get is that the president just said he doesn't want a ceasefire, but he also doesn't want to remove the regime. So then when does this end? Is it really about when he feels it in his gut? And if the regime really does pose an imminent threat, how do we justify not taking it out completely? If you're really doing this for the Iranian people and you know they can't overthrow the regime, then how do you justify not taking out the regime? And if the president is okay with a theocratic regime and doesn't want to be in the regime change business, then why didn't you just bomb the sites remotely like you did last time and get in and out quickly? It just doesn't make sense. And why is anything that I just said fairly interpreted as being pro-regime or not caring about the Persians or Iranians trapped? I mean, let's just state as a matter of fact, I don't know anybody who platforms Iranians who are trapped there in the cause of suffrage of their people more than we do. But that's not even the point. This isn't about being insensitive to the Iranian people. It's about being sensitive to the very real idea that they may be worse off after this war if the regime survives. By the way, so may we. If you can't convince the American people you have a plan that more than likely takes out the regime and more than likely helps the Iranians take control with something better, if you can't establish that, then how can you expect everybody to be okay that this war is replacing the domestic agenda? And no, there is no walking and chewing gum. Nothing is happening. We're still in a partial shutdown. They still haven't even extended the subsidies for Obamacare. Gas prices and the debt in America are on the rise. Healthcare costs are rising. The job market and now the stock markets are falling. The war is not helping. And by the way, we still haven't gotten what the law requires from the Epstein Transparency Act. So tonight, let's remind ourselves it's okay to be critical of things that our government are doing without being unpatriotic. And let's spend some time on what matters back here at home. All right? And we'll start with what was once a signature MAGA promise. We will release the Epstein files. Now it is the Trump administration that seems intent on not doing that in complete or satisfying fashion. Wednesday, Attorney General Pam Bondi, Deputy AG Todd Blanche held a closed-door briefing with the House Oversight Committee on the Epstein files. Democrats walked out. Was it a stunt? They say no, it was a way to avoid the subpoena and to testify under oath. Democrats, did what they did. But are they right? Will she submit to the deposition and the subpoena or not? Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.